Hi, my name is Kristen Madden. As the archivist at the History Museum, I know that photos are a great way to document our history. From a 1920s photo of a child playing in the snow to a digital image of a new business opening, pictures help tell our history. Please join me as we take a look back at some of the vintage photos in our collection.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking to you a bit about the South Bend Blue Sox. South Bend was the fourth city to be chosen to compete in what was then called the All-American Girls Softball League, now called the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. Of the 12 teams that existed during the league's tenure, only South Bend and Rockford could claim their teams had never moved cities and had existed since the league's inception. The South Bend Blue Sox would also be able to claim that they were the starting point for Dottie Schroeder, the only player to play all 12 seasons. The Blue Sox started playing at Bendix Field, a ballpark located just west of Bendix Factory on South Bend's west side. The location is now home to South Bend International Airport. The Blue Sox would play there for 2 years before moving to Playland Park in 1945, where they would stay until the league ended in 1954. All that remains of the park are a part of the grandstands by Indiana University's South Bend student housing. In 1943, the Blue Sox finished .001% behind the Kenosha Comets, who came in second that season. Pitchers Margaret Berger and Doris Barr threw 79 of the 91 games played by the Blue Sox. Berger was credited with 25 wins and Barr with 15, though Barr claimed her greatest accomplishment was a 13-inning game where she ended up winning 1-0. Jim Costin, a reporter for the Tribune, wrote on May 31, 1943, "Those who never have before seen two teams of expert girls softball players tangling with each other were quite agreeably surprised at the artistry displayed by the feminine athletes." The Blue Sox were so well loved by the city and surrounding area that their seasons often brought in larger crowds than the men's teams in the area, many of which were sponsored by the city's factories. In fact, in their 1944 season, the Blue Sox drew in 49,296 fans. That would be almost the capacity of Four Winds Field 10 times over. In 1951 and 52, the Blue Sox won back-to-back championships, but sadly came in last in 53 and 54. The league recruited the best women from all over North America to be representatives of the AAG-PBL. Naturally, they would go on to find only the best coaches and chaperones to assist them on and off the field. Bert Niehoff was a second baseman who played for the Cincinnati Reds, the Philadelphia Phillies, the St. Louis Cardinals, and the New York Giants between 1913 and 1918. He went on to coach, scout, and manage for such teams as the New York Giants and the New York Yankees. Niehoff managed the Blue Sox from 1943 to 1944. Marty McManus spent 15 years in major leagues as a second and third baseman for the St. Louis Browns, the Detroit Tigers, the Boston Red Sox, and the Boston Braves. Afterwards, he went to manage the Boston Red Sox. McManus ran the Blue Sox in 1945 and then again in 1948. In 1951, he began his work to unionize professional baseball. Chaperones protected the morals of the players at home as well as on the road. The girls were forbidden to drink, gamble, violate curfew, wear shorts or pants in public, or go out on dates alone without permission. The men were even interviewed by chaperones before the date could occur. Quite a few of the girls were underage, and the league kept a particularly close eye on them. Several players had stories of chaperones appearing out of thin air to make sure nothing untoward happened with their wards when a date suggested a room before a date was to begin. Rose Virginia Way was the team's chaperone in 1943, and Helen Moore became their chaperone the following year. In 1943, 280 women were invited to come to Chicago to see if they had what it takes to make it in the AAG-PBL. Of those 280, only 60 would be chosen to be the first female professional ball players. By the time the league ended, over 600 women would be able to claim that they had the privilege of playing professional ball. Betsy Jochum played for the Blue Sox from 1943 to 1948. In her rookie year, she led the league in at-bats, hits, singles, and doubles. She stole 66 bases, scored 70 runs, and led all hitters in the second half of the season with a .295 average. She was then chosen for the first All-Star team, which happened to be the first night game held at Wrigley Field on July 1, 1943. The game was played under temporary lights that time. In 1947, Jochum took her first plane ride to Havana, Cuba for spring training. Although having some trouble switching from underhand to sidearm pitching, Jochum excelled at overhand pitching in her final year in 1948, helping provide 14 of the 57 wins that year. Mary Bonnie Baker was scouted by professional scout Hub Bishop, who would go on to find athletes like Gordie Howe of the Detroit Red Wings. A former model, Baker was often chosen by the league to pose for publicity shots and act as a league spokesperson. Baker was the league's most publicized player and was referred to as Pretty Bonnie Baker by the press. Her picture even appeared in Life magazine. She began her career with the South Bend Blue Sox in the league's first season and stayed with them until 1950. In 1946, Baker had an all-star season, stealing a league-leading 94 bases, batting .286, and with a .965 fielding percentage. Dottie Schroeder entered the league in 1943 with the South Bend Blue Sox, playing with them for 2.5 years before joining the Kenosha Comets, the Fort Wayne Daisies, and finally the Kalamazoo Lassies. In her first season, she led the league shortstop in fielding average, collecting 32 stolen bases. She also had 56 hits with 44 runs and 56 walks to her credit. In addition to playing 16 professional baseball seasons, Schroeder holds all-time records for most games played, at-bats, RBIs, and walks in AAG PBL history. Gene Fout is considered by many as the greatest overhand pitcher in AAG PBL history. From 1946 through 1953, Fout set several all-time and single-season records. She compiled a lifetime record of 140 wins, 64 losses, with a 1.23 earned run average and 235 pitching appearances, registering the lowest career ERA for any pitcher in the league. Besides pitching 2 perfect games, her league achievements include pitching 2 no-hitters, twice winning the Triple Crown, and collecting 3 20-win seasons. She also led in wins and strikeouts 3 times, set the league record for single-season winning percentage at .909, and led the South Bend Blue Sox to consecutive championships in 1951 and 1952.
Thank you for joining me today. This program is a part of our Look Back series. You can find more vintage photos at historymuseumsb.org. Just click on the Look Back icon on our homepage. We're always interested in adding more images to our archives, whether photographs or digitals, from 100 years ago or today. So please contact me if you're interested in donating to our collection. See you next time.